Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Proper Romance Book Club April live chat. And my name is Marilee from Marilee Loves to Read. I'm one of the admins of the book club group, and I am here with Michelle Wright, author of Whisk Me Away, and the amazing Julie Wright is joining us today to chat about this amazing book. This month is a little bit different because we are chatting about this gorgeous cookbook. So let us know where you're joining us from. Tell us hello in the comments. Before we get started with all of the fun questions and things we're going to chat about, just want to remind everybody about our giveaways this month. This month we actually have two, which is pretty fun. One of the giveaways is for a copy of Favorite Family Recipes, the Most Requested Copycat Dishes Cookbook. Sounds amazing. And to enter that one, all you have to do is comment on any of the posts from the month or this live video, and that giveaway will go through the end of the month. So comment away. The more you comment, the more entries you get. And then the second giveaway is for a beautiful set of glass dishes. And Michelle's going to show us those really quick. Can you hold them up for us?
So this is a set of 4. They're 12 ounces, so they're not petite. And it's a 10-inch cake stand. It's really pretty.
Those are gorgeous. Those glasses are almost perfect for like a dessert.
The dessert, chilled fruit. You could do salad. You could do ice
Little
cream.
mini trifles in each one.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
So to win that set of glass dishes, you need to make a recipe from the Whisk Me Away cookbook and then share the picture with us in the Proper Romance Book Club. And you can enter as many times as you want. The more recipes you make, the more entries you get. So not only do you get to eat yummy food and make delicious recipes, you get entrance into a giveaway. So don't forget about those. Okay, let's start out. I just want to highlight this cookbook a little bit because when I opened the package, I think I literally gasped when I did you do that, Julie? When you
I did.
oh
I'm
my
like, oh my stars, that is beautiful. I'm like, I almost don't want to cook around it because it's so pretty. I don't want to mess it up.
I know. Yeah, go ahead.
It's just perfect. It's just so
perfect.
gorgeous.
I'm so glad I have one of those cookbook covers. You know, you stick it behind the plastic thing, but it's like cloth covered with gold foil, and then you look inside, and it just has the most gorgeous pictures. Look at that. So many recipes from so many different eras, and we're going to go into that in just a little bit. But I needed to show this to everybody because I think everybody needs to understand just how gorgeous this book is. It's amazing. But Michelle, I wanted to ask you first. Can you just share a little bit about the inspiration behind this cookbook, how it came to be?
So the inspiration, Shadow Mountain approached me. I think they've wanted to do a cookbook for a while, but it's all about timing. And so we just wanted something that's to gather with your family and friends and just make it meaningful. We wanted to celebrate the joy of connection. And we thought, what better way to do it than through food and stories? And so that was kind of the thing.
Right. So many family events happen around food, right? Whether it's like evening dinner or a celebration or a party, it's something that gathers people together with family and friends.
It was fun to see people post what they were making for Easter. So you've got Easter, we have Mother's Day coming up. I have friends who are excited to give these away as gifts for weddings or for birthdays or, graduations, different things like that. So it's fun to hear what people are using it for. I have a friend who's in a bunko group and she's like, what are your favorite appetizers in the book? So it's been fun when they've been asking me what I recommend, which is kind of like trying to choose your favorite child.
Right? How do you possibly pick? I love that. This would be a beautiful gift for somebody's birthday or a wedding gift. I love that idea. And I love that in the back, some of them are even divided by special events. There's a whole Christmas section, there's a Hawaiian luau section, a fall harvest section. So there's stuff in the book that could, and year round you could make. But I love that if you're looking for something specific and particular to a celebration, that you can look at those as well.
Well, can I just interrupt really fast? Something
Oh,
I
please.
really love. Let me just tell you something. One of my favorite things is I loved how much I learned in this book. I didn't expect a cookbook to be so like you've got timeline. So you have the Regency era timeline. I don't know if everybody can see that, but you've got the whole timeline and how it works. I had no idea that Frankenstein was part of the Regency era as well as, it just kind of straddles that line right there. And it's one of my favorite books. And it's like, well, that's fun. And then it goes through, it gives little games that you can play. And it teaches you the rules of like, if you could do a whole event with this book, not just about the food, but you can plan your entertainment too. And it's just like it, did you know, historically, both men and women wore corsets. By the mid 1800s, men's corsets had fallen out of fashion. How cool is that? It's just little tidbits. It's just
Right?
a fun book. Okay, sorry. As you
No,
were.
I that's one of my favorite parts about the book too. Like, look, it even has like fashion of the day, and the history of fashion, and it's got a guide on herbal teas with the tea party section. Like, you could really, like you said, you could plan an entire event just based around what's in this book. And I love too that on each of the recipes, it has a quote from one of the proper romance books, which is so fun
So fun.
um, to go through. I've read every proper romance book that exists, and it's fun to go through and see those quotes in there.
Well, and at the back, they also list all of the proper romances that have been printed. So you could probably see if you haven't read all of them. So that's
Right?
kind of fun. Up until this point, all the proper romances are listed.
There's so many too. Look at all those.
I have to say, all I did was curate the recipes. Shadow Mountain and their team did all of the fun stuff.
The
The
extra
other
fun
part.
things. So they took all the recipes that you had and added all these extra things. So it's almost more than a cookbook. It's like an event planner.
Exactly.
You've got the food, you've got the party things, um, which makes it even more fun. Um, I know I've seen chatter online at times from people talking about how in our day and age with the internet, we don't really need cookbooks anymore. That they're sort of outdated. You've got the internet, you can search for what you want. What would you say to those people?
Well, I'm not one of them because I have over 100 cookbooks. I collect them. Like when I go someplace, I like to pick up a cookbook. I think it is easy to find a recipe online, but to keep it, some of my favorite cookbooks are a family cookbook that we have done that's generations of people with favorite recipes. Um, I also have like a ward or a neighborhood. Some of those are really fun to keep. And it's kind of like it's heart, heritage, and storytelling, which is exactly what proper romance is it's the storytelling and it's the meaningful things. And one thing about I do want to share about the cookbook is each of the recipes is tied to like a story, a moment, a memory, or something for me. um, that like I can say the sugar cookies came from one of my really good friends. I've catered wedding receptions and different things like that. The fruit bruschetta was for a girlfriend's wedding reception. I like to ask people I know, try and figure out, it's my love language. The coconut cake that's in here, I made for a friend for his birthday because he loved coconut. And I always like to see, a lot of my friends and family are my guinea pigs. They're my little taste testers. Um,
Lucky.
yeah, exactly. The tomato basil pesto soup was for a Galentine's dinner. I'm just like, I
It is
love it.
so good. It is so, guys, it's
Yeah.
so good. It's such a great recipe. Sorry.
I knew it was a hit when everyone wanted the leftovers. Like I didn't even get leftovers. They took it home. And so it's my love language. And I think that's one way that you can connect with people is through food. And that's what we wanted is that connection and those memories. Because we all have memories of like a favorite thing. The cookbook that I love with my grandma that I talked about when she passed away, that's what I wanted. And there's 3 recipes in there that I love. The ginger snaps. The ginger snaps are not in this, but there is the snickerdoodles, orange Julius, and that's how I learned to do orange or to do the chocolate chip cookies. So that's what I just think it's meaningful that way.
Yeah, I think we do associate food with memories a lot. We have specific memories tied to specific recipes. I've got my mother's cookbook that she used, her old Betty Crocker one that's got her handwriting and all these, it's falling apart at the seams. It's very meaningful to me because those are recipes I grew up making with her. And I love that this is something that you can make more memories from with these recipes, making them for friends. Someone commented that it would be fun to do a book club night on each proper romance book and choose the recipe. Wouldn't that be so fun? Yeah. If you're watching, let us know what things you like about the book. What are your favorite things about the Whisk Me Away cookbook? Okay, we've had a lot of questions about the testing, refining process that you use, Michelle. How do you go about, when you're starting a new recipe, how do you go about testing it?
It's my friends and family.
How do
I,
we
I
sign up for
literally,
that? I know Julie would like to.
I'm in. Sign me up, honey. Especially when you're doing the desserts. I am so there for it.
Right?
yeah, I like to, it's just, I look at a recipe that somebody's created and not saying that this is negative or it's bad, but when I look at something, I'm like, how can I make it different? How can I make it for me? So the butter cake came out, and originally it had a vanilla glaze, and a vanilla glaze is not bad, but I love all things almond, so I tweaked it that way. And also, I have a friend who loves coconut, and so I changed it, and I've used coconut with that before. One of the things I love about the recipes is I am hoping that they're versatile enough that somebody can look at it and be like, well, I love lemon, so maybe I'll do a lemon extract. And I just want people to be able to play with it and have fun. If you don't like a particular fruit, don't use that fruit. Change it. I have a friend who made the chilled fruit soup, and she used blueberry. I have not tried it that way, but she absolutely loved it. The crestless quiche, somebody I'd seen that they posted that they used, instead of the corn tortillas, they used the flour tortillas. And so I want people to be able to take it and look at it and make it their own for their loved ones. It's
I
fun to
love
see what people have done with it.
I love that you talk about how you tested it with your friends and family. That's something that you had mentioned about what's the difference between a physical cookbook versus the kind that you find online. I feel like your physical cookbooks, they've gone through that testing and vetting process. There's
Yeah.
a lot of love and care that goes into that. Kind of more recipes that you can trust a little bit better. Where you've been through that whole process, Michelle, you've taken it and you've done all that, and I think that's something that I love about a physical book versus the recipes you can just find online. It is a very different experience, and you're going to get a higher quality recipe, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like the pumpkin cake that's in here, I've had that recipe for over 30 years. But the trifle came from multiple recipes because one day I wanted to make a ginger snap Oreo, so that's where the pumpkin spice filling came from. And I watch way too much Food Network. But they always say that you need something crunchy, so that's where the toffee bits with the whipping cream. And we had a trifle contest at work, and so I was like, what can I make that's different? And I was like, well, I have that pumpkin base, and that's how that came to be. And then everyone loved it. So, and the presentation is amazing, but it's simple, but it tastes good. Like the watermelon feta salad in here, I do talk a lot that I use a lot of infused balsamics and olive oils. My favorite, I have a Cara vanilla balsamic and an orange olive oil that I've made that watermelon feta salad with. That salad is like a cut and dump salad. You don't like feta, use a different cheese. You don't have to use the microgreens. I've used it with like a Persian lime olive oil and a pomegranate balsamic, and put pomegranates in it and different things like that. But there is a recipe in here for just an original olive oil, which it's fine. But I mean, do whatever you like. And if you don't like watermelon, then do something else with just regular fruit. Peaches, there's a peach balsamic, just lots of different fun things to do.
Yeah. I should have eaten lunch before we started because now I want to go make all this food. But I love that they're versatile for people who maybe have allergies or food preferences, or maybe you got a lot of picky kids, right? I've got 5 kids and this person doesn't like this and this person doesn't like this. And I love recipes that I can tweak that way and we can all still enjoy. Um,
I also love that they're approachable. I am not a great cook. I am a great eater. And you can buy my love with food. This is a real thing. I mean, I'm seriously for sale for food. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna cook for me. I'm in. In fact, when my husband and I were dating, I was just a little kid basically, but I'm like, you cook? I think we should get married. It's like, wow, sign me up. But I like that this is really approachable. I mean, I'm telling you, making that tomato basil soup was super simple, even for me. I was able to do it. It was very approachable, and I liked that.
we've got people commenting saying, "Me too, Julie."
Right?
I love it. Yes. I'm one of those people. Sometimes I'll look at a recipe. Do you ever get intimidated when you look at a recipe and you think, it's a long list of ingredients. I don't recognize half of them. There's like 20 steps to make it. I will confess, I skip over those. I
Me
am
too.
just not good enough in the kitchen. I don't have the confidence to make those. And with good reason. They usually, if I've tried, it usually doesn't work out. But these recipes are all simple and easy and fast, which is what I love.
Which is when you're entertaining, you don't want to spend all the time in the kitchen. You want to spend the time with the friends and with
Right.
the loved ones and just be able to like the butter cake that's in here, the bundt pan is what sells it. That lemon cake, you look at the bundt pan and you put it in there. And just so you know, I'm just going to say Baker's Joy. That is the thing. If you're ever worried about a bundt pan and stuff not coming out, use Baker's Joy. It's the best thing in the world. You cannot overspray with that stuff, but it makes it beautiful, and simple ingredients sometimes make the best food,
Right.
in my opinion.
I love
And
that.
they make you look like you're so much more talented in the kitchen than you really are. That's what I loved about it. I'm like, I just totally made soup. I just totally made trifle, and I've never done that before. I mean, the word trifle, it sounds, I don't know why, it just sounds really complicated to me. But
Yeah.
then I'm like, I could do this. I could do that. And I'm just telling you, I love how I agree. You should spend time doing the cooking or doing the cooking, not doing the cooking, doing the entertaining and enjoying the cooking with everybody else.
Right. Right. I love the recipes. They're simple and they're easy to understand and they're easy to make. Somebody commented they also love that the ingredients aren't hard to find.
Oh, I know.
Right?
You don't want to
It's
spend the
the
money on something and use it once because you're like, oh, well, that recipe didn't turn out. I don't like that.
right, some weird spice you've never used before, and then you got the jar sitting in your cupboard for 5 years because you think, well, what if, yeah, it's always annoying when you can't find it at the grocery store and you got to go hunt it down somewhere.
And it costs $80 to get a little tiny thing like that. And you're like, oh, well, that was neat.
Right.
I spent money on that.
Okay, we have a couple specific questions from readers about baking. Okay. Natalie asks, are the recipes easy to make at a higher altitude or are there certain adjustments that need to be made?
I have not found them to be harder to make at a higher altitude. Some of the things are you may have to lower your baking temperature, or it may take like the soups and stews or boiling water and different things may take a little bit longer. But for the most part, I haven't found that problem.
Because you're cooking at a higher altitude. And
Right.
so you would have encountered
For sure.
that if there was something. Okay, so maybe a little tweaking with a few things, but they should turn out at higher altitude. It shouldn't be a major issue with any of these. Okay, perfect. And then Shelly asked, when making a cake, do you find it better to use a hand mixer or a stand mixer like a KitchenAid or a Bosch?
You know what's interesting? I think that people either grew up with a KitchenAid or a Bosch, and they have very strong opinions either way. I grew up with a KitchenAid. I'm not, whatever works for you. I think sometimes it's just about the ease. I like my KitchenAid, but I also have a hand mixer that I love. Like if I'm doing like the honeys or I'm doing something just really quick, I will I'll just use the hand mixer. But sometimes I just like the KitchenAid as well. But if you have a Bosch, I'm not like eat one or the other, whatever works for you.
So it's not going to change how the cake turns out if you use a hand mixer instead of your KitchenAid on the counter.
Okay.
Okay. What do you like to use, Julie?
I I have an old KitchenAid from like 1976 that was my
Oh,
grandmother's. It's old. It's that weird golden color, that golden rod color. That like I don't even know how to describe it, but it and if it dies, I think I will die too. Because every time I use it, I feel like I'm really close to my grandma. So for me, having that experience, it's like, oh hi grandma, how are you? It's like it's a fun thing for me to be able to use because that's hers. And so I know that's dumb. And one of these days it's going to die. It is so old. It's almost as old as I am, which is sad. It's like, one of these days it's gonna go. But yeah, that's what I use.
I love that. That reminds you of her. And when you say 1970s, I can picture the color in my head
Yes.
of what you're saying. 1970s says it all. Um, Okay, Michelle, what advice would you give to somebody who's new in the kitchen, who's just getting started baking?
I mean, I was thinking about this. Have fun. Just enjoy and start. I mean, you have to start. I remember like I've always loved cooking, but I remember the first few times I made chocolate chips and the chocolate chips were the highest thing in the cookie. Because you didn't put enough flour in them or just the different things like that. So keep doing it, just try different things. Um breads is still intimidate me. I love them and I appreciate them, but feeding a sourdough starter it just terrifies me. So, I mean, just find something that you enjoy and you like, but make it your own. Just, yeah, that's what I just have fun and make it your own.
Yeah. And I love a part of what you said. You almost can't be afraid to fail, right?
No,
If you think I've got to go in and it's got to be perfect every time, this is not going to happen. I remember when I learned how to make pie crust, I took a class in college. It was very intimidating. And I did fail a whole bunch of times before I finally learned, oh, this is exactly what I need to do to make a good pie crust.
yeah.
And you just can't be afraid to mess up. You're going to have things that don't look the way the picture does sometimes, right?
I
Yes,
hope that.
the Pinterest memes have nailed it, and it's got the what it's supposed to be and what your version is. I honestly think that those mess ups are they make the best stories. They're good to laugh at. I just think that sometimes when you screw up, it's hilarious and it's kind of fun to do. So I like the advice of don't be afraid to fail. That's great.
Well, I had a friend, speaking of nailed it, my friend texted me this weekend. She made the butter cake for Easter and it literally did not come out of the pan. And I was like, and she sent me the picture and she's laughing. And I said, well, you can make a trifle out of it. And she's like, no, I'm taking it to the in-laws like it is. And I said, well, at least it tastes good. She's like, oh, there's no doubt in my mind. So sometimes looks aren't everything. It's just how it tastes. But she laughed about it and they loved it. And that's the most important thing is, but just keep trying. I mean, I made caramel in college and good thing I buttered the pan because it was way past hardball stage. It was like a brick, and
That's
fell
so
out and hit the
funny.
floor, and I thought I shattered the tile floor, and it didn't. That caramel didn't even move. It was still in the same thing. But can you imagine if I had just stopped? Yeah, just keep going. That's all I have to say.
I think those mistakes make the best stories.
Yeah, exactly.
They're fun to talk about. I remember my friend who made chocolate chip cookies when we were living in Boston, this crap apartment, and she burned it and burned it and burned it like 5 batches in a row. She burned, and finally on the last batch, she put them all of the cookies. She put them in the garbage bag, and then she started beating the garbage bag against the wall. It was fantastic. It's like those mess ups are the best stories. I love them.
Yeah, definitely. They're good stories, they're good learning experiences, and it's going to happen. It's not going to turn out perfect all the time, especially the first time. Um, if you're watching, let us know if you've made any of the recipes and if you have a favorite. Michelle, do I dare ask you if you have a favorite? You probably can't pick. We'll go to Julie first. Do you have a favorite recipe
Actually,
or favorite
I
couple?
figured this question was coming. I didn't know. So I thought, well, I should just mark the place where my favorite is.
There's so
Look at
many.
how many papers there are. I've got like 50 papers in there. that is really hard. The trifle was so good. The the
Mm.
um, the hot cross buns were so good. Let's see where else. What else have I got? Uh,
Mm.
the soup we've already talked about because clearly I just love that I made soup and
I
that
need to
was
make the soup
fun.
now. That's what I need to
Oh
make for
my
tonight.
god! Okay, the chilled fruit soups. I've only ever had chilled fruit soup on fancy schmancy cruises. I didn't have any idea you could make that at home. I'm like, what? I can do that? And so that was super exciting. I did the raspberry, but I love the idea of trying it with blueberry. 100% going to do that now. That's just amazing. I mean, the shepherd's pie is really good. I haven't tried the Yorkshire pudding or the mint chocolate chip, the mint chocolate brownies yet. But 100% I'm going to do the mint chocolate thing for my husband. That's my husband's favorite flavor. So that's going to be his little, because he doesn't like birthday cake, but I'm totally doing that for his birthday in lieu of cake, which I'm super excited about. Okay, but yeah, my favorites. Yeah, there's a stack, guys. I could be here all day
So
doing.
basically, there's lots.
Yeah, there's lots. It was so
So
good.
one thing I thought about as we went through this, I have a friend who is celiac, and I had a lunch party and she came, and I did tell her to go over, and the base of the cheesecake is gluten free, and the fruit bruschetta was gluten free, so she was able to try those, and she messaged me later that night and just said, "Thank you for letting the team. They were great. They made it. I got to taste it. I appreciate it. I flipped through the book, and I am so glad that I can make these for my dietary needs, which makes me happy." One of my favorites in here is the olive oil cake is really good. Um, I use it with the infused olive oil. One tip I've learned is if you massage your zest into the sugar, it will release the oils, and it just heightens it up just one more level. So it takes
Mm.
it up a notch. So that one's really fun. I also do like the flourless chocolate cake. That one's really a fun one. They're all, it depends on it. Like if you said, what do you like for this? I could choose that. One thing
Right.
that surprised me as rhubarb season's coming on, the rhubarb coffee cake I had from my one of my other grandmas, and it is so easy to make. And that was one of the favorite things on when we were doing the photo shoot for the cookbook, because two of the people were like, I don't like rhubarb, but I'll try it. And they ended up loving it, which is, I love that when somebody's like, well, I don't like that. And then they try it and it's one of their favorites. And they still bring that up. And I was like, out of
Mm.
all the things in this cookbook, the rhubarb coffee cake is your favorite, but it is delightful, just so you know. So.
That's
I
fun.
love that. Someone's asking, what would you make for Mother's Day?
That's a good
Oh,
question.
it depends on your mom, but I definitely would do. I think the charcuteries are fun. They're fun to do different things. Like you could do a fruit charcuterie. You could use the dips as a starting point, like the hummus, the artichoke dips, and do it with different breads and meats. It depends on, like, are you doing a sit down dinner or a different thing like that? But definitely something easy. The charcuteries, different, like the mini cheesecake bites are fun dessert wise.
So good.
The lemon bars have been a big
Mm.
hit. I love how many people have loved the lemon bars.
Yes.
Somebody's done them as the lime, which is fun. I'm glad that they did it that way as well. And the brownies have been a big hit. There's a base for it. You could just do the chocolate brownie. And then Julie's talking about adding the mints in. I've done them with the toffee. And then there's also a peanut butter
Ooh,
frosting that's available for that one as well.
That's what
So
Julie's making next is the peanut butter one.
yeah, peanut
She's
butter
like,
one.
yeah, that's
That
next.
just hit all the right feels.
yeah, the chilled fruit soup
Yep.
is really fun because it's different. When tomatoes come on, the panzanella salad is really fun. You can serve it with fish, chicken. I mean, anything. It's very versatile. Any of the salads are versatile to serve with whatever meat you want to serve it with.
So basically, you have a whole bunch of options in
For
here,
sure.
whichever way you want to go.
The infused lemonades, you've got the mocktails, you've got the herbal tea, which herbal tea can be served in the summer cold or it can be served warm in the winter. So
Oh,
some of my favorites are the fruit herbal teas to serve them cold in the winter
I
or
have
in the
never
summer.
had a cold herbal tea.
Oh yeah, the fruit ones I love. Absolutely love them in the summer. Very refreshing cold.
That'd be fun for like a summer tea party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Instead of having like the hot drink, have like a
exactly.
chilled herbal tea. Oh, I love that. Somebody says they want to try the raspberry balsamic ice cream.
That is delicious. I very rarely do I not share food. I originally got this recipe from my girlfriend who makes it every year for my birthday. And normally I will share, but I told my sister, she came down to visit, and I gave her a bite, and that was all I gave her. And then when we shot it at the photo shoot, I told them this story, and they're like, "Whoa, that's kind of rude." But the stylist didn't
You don't
let
understand.
us take it home. She kept it because it really is that good.
So good.
It's delicious. And this year we made it raspberry peach. So, I mean, it's versatile as well.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, it's delicious.
That'd be perfect for Mother's Day too.
Yes, it would be.
See that. Somebody said they love the grilled cheese croutons, and they never make tomato soup now without them.
Those are fun and it's different. I've also had someone when they made the grilled cheese sandwiches, and that's another thing. Make it the grilled cheese with whatever you like to make it. It started with the galantines. We did like a tomato. We did it with like bacon cheddar cheese and like a dill cheese with different breads. And I've had you could do the grilled cheese croutons. I've had somebody that just cut them and did them in like fingers, and it'd be really fun to put those in like little shooter glasses, just so different little as part of it. You could make that as an appetizer. So
I love that. I love that. This is such a beautiful cookbook with so many amazing recipes, amazing things inside. And I love that we've talked about it's a way to create memories, way to
yes,
gather people together, create memories, both with the food itself, but also the memories you make together and the fun events that you can do, whether it's Mother's Day or the 4th of July, or whether you're doing a fun, Regency tea party or a steampunk thing. There's so many things in here that people can do. Somebody says they're in Arizona pushing 100 degrees, so they're definitely going to be trying out the raspberry peach.
well, I hope they let
ice
me know
cream.
because it really has been fun. It was a little, I'm not going to lie, it was a little terrifying the first time because anytime people would try something like, well, will you share the recipe? I'm happy to share the recipe. But when people I did not know were trying the recipes, it was a little bit intimidating. But I'm happy to see, it's fun to see what everyone's making.
Yeah, it is. I love all the pictures that people have been posting this month and to see all the fun things that they're enjoying. If somebody wanted to get in touch with you and chat about a recipe or share what they've made, what's the best way for them to connect with you, Michelle?
It would be on Instagram at Misha's Baking.
Okay.
I'm
I'll share
working on putting
the
the blog. It's not up yet, and I will post that as soon as we get that going. But hopefully,
fun.
in the next couple of months, I will have a blog going.
Oh, that's going to be so
Lots of other ideas that have been percolating in my brain.
fun. Yay. Okay, we'll make sure to share the blog on the book club page when you get that all set up. And I'll share your Instagram and my stories today so people can find you through that. But sometimes it would be fun for people to share with you,
For sure.
hey, I made this, and it's always fun. Oh, people are saying they love cooking blogs, so there you go. Don't forget, if you came in and joined us after the beginning, don't forget about the giveaways this month. Keep commenting to earn a copy of the Copycat Cookbook, and then keep sharing all of the fun foods you are making this month from Whisk Me Away. It's been so much fun to see all of the amazing recipes and the pictures that you're sharing. I'm so glad people are enjoying this cookbook because it is meant to be enjoyed and shared and loved and gifted. I love that idea for a gift. This would be the perfect wedding gift for people. I have to remember that. Michelle and Julie, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been such a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you for everybody watching, and can't wait to see all of the fun things that you guys make.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.